Hello everyone! Been a while. I hope this video finds you well. I do apologise for any sounds of being out of breath or sick in any way. I've still got the remnants of a bad cold and the cough just ain't leaving. So, but I actually have another much better reason for not posting in a while this time, other than just being my usual ill self. Back in December, we brought home a golden retriever puppy! Her name is Phoebe. She's the sweetest thing. I love her so much. I mean, she's also a huge handful, but so worth it. She's now 6 months old. Time flies. It's insane. Anyway, update over. On to Build-A-Bear Workshop bears into Sims. When I was younger, I loved Build-A-Bear so much. As well as buying the bears, I used to play the online games, like the browser game one, where you had like a bear on your backpack but you were a person, and there's like a village and stuff. I used to play the DS game as well. I have 8 teddies in total, but in this video I'm only going to make 6 of them into Sims, because I got really tired towards the end and I struggled, and I also have a plan for another video which I might talk about at the end of this one as well, and I thought 6 would be easier than 8. Anyway, so as each new sim comes up on screen, I've written a little thing about each bear, which I'll read off to you about each one of my bears. Sound cool? Great. So this first one is called Bunny Moon. She was my first bear, though she is indeed a rabbit. She's also technically not a Build-A-Bear. She's a bear factory bear, which is what Build-A-Bear was before it was Build-A-Bear Workshop. It was Bear Factory. I also didn't build her. She was given to me by my family when I was too little to make my own. Fun fact about Bunny Moon, I occasionally took her to primary school, so she had her own little school uniform, like a blue and white checkered little dress, and school books that I'd make out of little folded pieces of paper. I decided to give her the outdoor enthusiast aspiration, mainly because she has butterflies as the main motif on her clothes. On the bear, unfortunately I couldn't find many butterfly things in The Sims, although I did give her butterfly earrings, which are very, very cute. And I just see her as like a lover of animals and nature and things like that as well. It's another reason why I gave her the animal enthusiast trait as well. So yeah, that's Bunny Moon. We're now on to the next one, it seems, yes. Number 2, who is indeed a bear, but still not a Build-A-Bear. This one is also a Bear Factory bear, and her name is Flora Alice. She originally belonged to my older sister, who named her Alice, and then when she was passed down to me, I wanted to name her Flora, but also didn't want her to lose her original name, so ta-da! She became Flora Alice. Now, Flora Alice has something none of the other bears have. This is really cool. She has a passport. You could get these little mini bear passports from the Build-A-Bear shop, and at the time, people at the stations where passports were checked, like at airports, I imagine, but specifically in this instance is a ferry, had little stamps for the bears. It was wild. I remember we were going to France. It was my first big holiday and first holiday to a different country. We got to what I think was a passport check before we drove onto the ferry, and I was so excited when the man stamped my bear's passport. It was the best. It's the only stamp that she has, but I will treasure it forever. The purple plait or braid that she has in her ear was also an addition from that holiday. My mum sewed it in there when we were in France, and I enjoyed playing essentially hairdressers with it. It's been in its current plait without a bobble or hairband on the end of it for at least 10 years, probably more, and somehow it's still intact. I don't dare touch it, because I don't know how it's managed to do that. It's a miracle, and I don't want it to be ruined. I decided to give Flora Alice the championship rider aspiration, because she's always worn this top with a horse on, and she also has essentially, I think the word is bedazzled, jeans with a little horseshoe on the bottom. I also gave her the horse lover trait for this reason as well. I think at the time I got her, I must have been into horses. I remember I loved playing the Pippa Funnel 2 Take the Reins PC game, as well as a Barbie horse stables game, I can't remember what it's called, for PC as well. Also, by the way, the Pippa Funnel game, is the only old PC game that I can get to work on my current gaming computer, so kind of tempted to make a video playing it. Just saying. Bear number 3 is the first actual Build-A-Bear workshop bear, and the first bear I got to make myself. His name is Charlie. I loved him so much when I made him. He was my first actual Build-A-Bear, so I got to the full experience with picking, stuffing, washing, dressing him. I also got to make his birth certificate and take him home in one of those house-shaped boxes. He was the bear I would take to bed with me and play dress-up with for a long while. I decided to give him the musical genius aspiration and the music lover trait because he wears a Snow Patrol hoodie. I'm not even sure I knew who Snow Patrol were at the time I got him that, but it's been his staple since the beginning, so he's got to be a music lover. To number 4. She's a snow leopard called Luna. Luna used to be dressed in kind of chill, slightly grungy t-shirt and jeans and was very soft and a bit floofy. But she very quickly took over from Charlie in the bedtime role and has been my sleep buddy ever since. Somewhere along the line I removed her clothes, probably for sensory reasons, so naturally over a decade of sleeps is going to wear her down, so she's quite scruffy and not very soft anymore, but I love her all the same. Last year I found a hole in one of her seams, so she's been set aside with my sewing stuff to be fixed. Unfortunately that was just before we got our dog, Phoebe, so I haven't fixed her up yet, but once she's fixed and well again, I'm going to retire her from sleep duty and let her sit with her friends again so she doesn't get any more damage. I gave her the cat lover, bookworm, and loyal trait because, well, she's a big cat. She's also named after Luna Lovegood from the Harry Potter series, so I thought bookworm would work nicely. And she's always been loyally by my side, being my sleep buddy for all these years. On to bear number 5. This cutie is called Autumn. Now, she doesn't have a passport, like Flora Alice, but she came along just at the time when I was old enough to experience and enjoy all the day trips and small holidays we went on around the UK. So Autumn went everywhere with me, and I do mean everywhere. She was my comfort blanket of a teddy bear, always dressed in her little pink gilet or body warmer, whatever you want to call it. She was adventure ready, like all the time. Some photos that I know off the top of my head, I'll put them on screen, are trips to Twickenham Stadium and the Roald Dahl Museum, but there were many, many more that she would come with me on. She was my little travel buddy, and I adore her. I gave her the friend of the world aspiration because of how much she travelled with me and helped me go places. I imagine her to be very friendly and extroverted. I also gave her the geek trait because she wears a My Little Pony Friendship is Magic top, and I can see her like loving a lot of geeky things that match my interests. So yeah, my travel buddy, my geeky friend. Now, before we go on to talk about the last bear, bear number 6, I have 2 other bears, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I have a rainbow bear called Dylan and a wolf named Jake, although I called him Wolfie most of the time, so I don't know why I ever bothered to call him Jake, but there you go. I made them both when I was a bit older, so I don't really have as many memories attached to them, but I love them all the same. So this is their shout out moment. Here's a picture of Dylan and Jake. Say hi. Hi everyone. So moving on, bear number 6, who's being made currently. The amazing camo bear, whose name is Will. Will has a very special place in my heart because I made him with somebody else. We had a family friend called John, who was a friend of my nan's and was essentially like an extra grandparent. He's sadly passed away now. But I will always remember him so vividly because he just had such a vibrant, loud character to him, and I can still feel his scratchy beard from all the hugs he gave. He was with me when I made Will, and I think we also took him to a mini golf session after that, quite possibly on the same day, and I have a picture from it. I'll see if I can find it. Will now always has his skull zippy on him with a hood up. It's his classic look. But back when he was made, I used to dress him up in a Star Wars outfit, lightsaber and all. I was probably about 10 or 11 years old, and I knew barely anything about Star Wars except having seen the original 3 films, but I loved it anyways. The lightsaber was so shiny. I think that's probably what drew me to it. It was also not too long after that we had our second big family trip abroad, this time to Disneyland Paris, which, by the way, was insane. Does anybody remember those TV ads from Disney where the kids would get surprised by their parents by like something on the fridge or whatever, and they'd be like, yep kids, it's true, we're going to Disney. And the kids were like the most shocked and excited kids you ever did see. Yeah, well, my parents basically did their version of that for me and my sister, and it was the most overwhelming but like super cool experience. Anywho, I brought back a Buzz Lightyear costume from that trip and dressed Charlie up in it along with some Lightning McQueen slippers of all things. So he would sit next to Will, who was in his Star Wars get-up, and they would look so silly but so cute. I loved it. And I think, yes, we're at the slideshow. We did it, we made it, woohoo, yay! Have a look at all these lovely cuties in their gorgeous little outfits that I made. I'm very happy with all of them. I mentioned something at the beginning about an idea I had. That was because the For Rent expansion pack came on sale while I was making this video, so I bought it because I've been wanting to build some residential rentals for myself and for YouTube, and I got the idea that I could do one that was like one big lot with 6 houses on for each one of these bears. I just think that would be really cute, like a little bear village on one lot. I have no idea how long it will take me to get that video out, but I thought it was a really cute idea, and I really hope I can get to do it. So yeah, I hope you all liked these cute bear sims. I love how they turned out. I'm really actually quite proud of them. And thank you for letting me just talk about my bears for like 20 minutes, because I'd love nothing more than talking about things that I love for 20 minutes. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I will talk to you in my next video, which may or may not be bear houses or Pippa Funnel. I mentioned that, didn't I? Who knows? So yeah, bye everyone. Bye bye. I love you all. Goodbye. I need to go rest now.